I'm John Thurlow. I'm the program manager for Richmond Adult Education Center. Richmond Adult Education Center has its roots in the 1950s. And Richmond High School had what they call night school, and students could come there to achieve credits to earn a diploma. And then in 1979, Richmond Adult Education Center also began the GED program. And since 1979, we've issued over 3,500 diplomas. We have English as a new language classes. We do some short-term work certifications that are available for students. We run a pretty extensive jail program, and then we just work with people that want to improve their academics. They may already have a diploma, but it's been 20 years since they've been in school, and maybe they're wanting to retool themselves and start a new career, maybe at Ivy Tech or some other training program, and they realize they need to brush up on their reading, their math, or their language. We can assist with that. We'll have people come in maybe that didn't get an ASVAB score to join the military that they wanted, and we have a program to help assist them with that. Lots of opportunity here that the public can take advantage of at no cost. The minimum age to be in this program is 16 years old. We have people that have been in class that have been 82 years old. So we run quite a span of ages, just depending on what the person's goal is. The ideal high school equivalency diploma student has got to figure out for themselves that they want to build enough skills to pass an exam. It is not an easy exam, but I would say 99 out of 100 people that walk through the door could pass the exam if they would just stick with the classes. So a lot of people that are here for high school equivalency diploma maybe did not have a good experience in their previous traditional schooling. So one thing we try to do to offset that is every single thing done here is individualized. The teacher does not stand up and tell everybody to turn to a certain page in a textbook. Everybody's working on what skills they personally need to be able to pass that graduation exam. So the first couple days that somebody's with us, we give an extensive amount of testing. And that's kind of a bummer because it's like, welcome, we love you, but here's all this testing we're going to do. But that's so crucial because we don't have a clue what somebody's skills are until we test them. And that lets us skip everything they already know how to do and focus in on what skills they need to pass the exam, because there's no grades, there's no credits. And sometimes that's harder for a teenager, to understand because they're fresh, maybe coming out of high school, to where they sort of see that, liberty to maybe decide not to do homework or something like that, which is absolutely fine. But we just tell them that's all the longer it's going to be before you build enough skills to pass the exam. So we have people that are in and out of here in 2 weeks because maybe they came in really highly skilled, but for whatever reason they weren't able to earn a diploma. And then we have people that are here for years because that's where they are. We're all made differently, and it's taking them a longer amount of time to move up to that skill level. When we think somebody's at the skill level that they can pass, we give what we call readiness exams. And they're about half the length of the actual high school equivalency test. And if somebody's passing those, then the teacher gets with me and I give them the real thing. So we have people graduating every 2 weeks, year-round, and we have new people coming in every week. We don't start on a semester and end on a semester or anything like that. But regardless of when somebody would pass their exam and graduate, everybody gets a chance to walk in a ceremony every May that we hold over at Civic Hall. This is my 31st year, and I never cease to be amazed by how much somebody can learn in 10 or 20 hours even. Because a lot of it is the give-a-care factor. So maybe when they were young and back in school, we all did things we regret or whatever, and maybe we just didn't care about earning a diploma at that particular time. But when people come in and they care and they want to try, once again, probably 99 out of 100 people that come through the door would finish. And in a lot less time maybe than it would take to try to go back and earn every credit that they had never earned. So the biggest thing would be toughness, just to stick with it. if they stick with it, they'll finish. I would just encourage people to view life as kind of like you've got a toolbox with you, and you never know what tool that you need to have in that toolbox at various times in your life. It might be a particular academic skill, it might be a social skill, soft skill, something like that. Put as many tools in that box as you can, because you never know when you're going to need to reach in and grab one. So we have some partnerships in the community with various places, and one of our most important ones is with Ivy Tech Community College. And through its graces, they've decided that every student that graduates from the Richmond Adult Education Center gets a scholarship for 2 free classes. And we just give it to the student right with their diploma. I can assist them in applying for, to become a student at Ivy Tech. And it lets a student kind of dip their toe in the water out there free of charge and decide, maybe a certain career path is for them, or maybe they just want to get their math and English class out of the way, even though they might be interested in an automotive degree or something like that. Well, high school equivalency diploma is your evidence that you have enough skills in reading, writing, and mathematics, and understanding of science and basic social studies, that either a future employer or a future training, whether it be a union training hall or an Ivy Tech or an IU East or something like that, that you have the academic skills to be successful, that you can learn whatever they want to teach you. So oftentimes students will say, well, why is this important? I'll never use it. You might not do a mathematical problem that's exactly like the one that we're trying to teach you. But for example, I remember we had an employer call, a very good employer that starts at over $20 an hour. And they had an employee that didn't understand fractions, but the food that he was mixing was worth $2,500 each pot he would mix. And he was messing it up. And it wasn't a real difficult problem, but it was an expensive problem. And once we were able to work with him and figure out, okay, this amount of mix is what you're going to have to deal with, I think he was able to figure it out and then be successful and have a very well-paying job. So, once again, I come back to it's all about developing the mind. For whatever you decide you want to use that for is going to be your decision, and people can use it for good or bad. I mean, I've seen some of the most intelligent people I know that are in our jail program, and they've used their intelligence for things that aren't lawful, and yet they're highly skilled. So develop those skills so that you can apply them in what you're interested in, and not only doing for employment, just how you're going to spend your life, where you're going to pour your soul into.